What's up, YouTubers? Today I got a PlayStation 4 here. This one's overheating, shutting down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it apart, check out the fan, see how dirty the fan is, and we're going to check out the thermal paste. So it's probably just overheating and shutting down. So what we're going to do is take out these security tags here. This one hasn't been opened. It's always good. These models actually have the slim board in them. These ain't the good ones, so I don't like these that much because they don't seem to last as much as the older systems. Just like anything in this world. So just take those two screws off there and slide this cover out. Noisy traffic. I just take a tool right there just to snap this free. So yeah, it is pretty dirty, the fan. It's a dark dust. It is really nasty. So you'd think it would be actually clean, but we'll clean that fan, put some new thermal paste on here. Alright, so we can remove all the screws here. Disconnect the fan. Seems like these things have way so many more screws. Screw central. That's what it is. Yeah, this thing is pretty nasty. I don't want that stuff flying around, so what I'm going to use is the vacuum. Mute it so you guys can't hear it. It's not fun hearing a vacuum sound blasting your speakers. So we can remove that. Yeah, look at that. I've never seen that before. That is a weird dust, if you ask me. Or so that's what the fan's gonna be caked as. Let's see. Pretty nasty, if you ask me. I'm figuring the board's gonna be covered in this stuff a little bit. It is. Look at that. Well, at least it ain't oily based, so. Smears like black permanent marker almost. If anybody's ever seen that before. It doesn't even look like, it's not smoke damage, that's for sure. Alright, so we need to snap this free. Just go on the sides here. Same with this side. I mean, the fan's like all tarred up black, so we'll clean that up, but so we gotta remove the power supply. No, on the back side, when you do disconnect this little bracket thing piece will pop out. You're gonna have to put that back in. For the grounding screws for the power supply. I mean, this is all inside the power supply too. So that's definitely gonna have to come apart just for cleaning, because it can cause damage to the power supply. Alright, so disconnect these. Alright, so you can remove this bracket. Yeah, it's like and the power button. Or eject. Or no, the power button. See, the paste is like broke down. It's very liquidy. It's all gummy, nasty. We'll put some real thermal paste on there. Yeah, so basically it's just a cleaning and a thermal paste job. Like if we have a look at this, like components like this, so if the dust, builds up on it, it could cause problems. So move this out of the way. Come right back to that. Show you this under the microscope. See how that cap, it's like it's like magnetized, all the dust and dirt, and how they like, I want to say this is like a magnet. This is kind of very strange. I wonder if the person like works at CNC shop or something like that and brings home like maybe dust particles, but some of this probably has a little bit of metal stuff in it. Let me just look at it. Strange what you see in game consoles. But it's just all kind of like, you can see it's like coming outwards. My microscope won't pick it up that good, but yeah, like areas like that you want to definitely clean. And this is what's going to be done with the power supply. I just don't believe, I've never seen this actual dart. So I'm just overlooking the board real quick, see if I see anything else. Looks good. So we got that put aside. Now we're gonna come back to cleaning this fan. You can see this stuff, I don't know, it's just, it's weird too. This thermal paste is just crap. Cool. With the game console, sometimes you can get like a little story of what goes on with them, people smashing them. You know, if you don't mind asking them what they do for a living, you know, and just see. I'm just wondering what this black dust stuff is. Because I mean, the console is pretty clean. Surprisingly or not, it's for 3-year-old console. Customer said they had it for, so. All right, we got that little bit of clean. We're gonna get where the thermal paste goes on it pretty clean. All right, remove these 3 screws here. And then one screw for the fan. Make sure your Wi-Fi antenna, Bluetooth antenna. I mean, you can basically see through these fans almost, but we'll vacuum them out real quick. I'm gonna have to mute it. Alright, so now we can remove the fan with the 1 screw at the bottom there. And it's really not that bad, but man, that is nasty. Yeah, the power supply is probably gonna look the worst. You can't just drop that in the cleaner, so. Just basically flood this with rubbing alcohol, brush it. Be like brand new. But I mean, look at that. Looks pretty clean. Normally I just vacuum it out, but I don't want that stuff going in the air. I don't know what it is, so you'd rather have it down, liquid, weighing down the materials. Definitely want to be using gloves. Do you see this? This is just, I've never seen this before. Whatever it is. Smells weird too. I don't know. I do not know what this is. Alright, so we can put the fan back in. Put our one screw in. Alright, so we can put the board down for right now. Alright, so we got this cleaned off. Get it ready for some thermal paste. You know, other besides that one spot on the motherboard, there doesn't look like anything else is on there. Put some thermal paste. Some good stuff. Alright, we're good to go. Plug the fan in, make sure you plug your fan in. Oh, first, that's what I hate about these. You gotta put this back down. So used to taking the other PlayStations apart. Then they make these screws black and use like 4 different screw sizes for the whole game console. Yeah, I don't like the pressure that I'm going to bend this out just a little bit. Alright, so I'm back after that call. So I flexed this out a little bit here. I can screw this down. It's just a weird setup how they got this one versus the old model. And the old model's better. They used a better piece of metal too here for the bending. So it's not applying pressure to the CPU, not cooling it down proper. And the nasty gunk or whatever this stuff was. So put that back. Put a couple screws in for right now. Fun remembering where all the screws go to. So we're going to set this to the side and we're going to clean the power supply on this. That is nasty. So let's take this power supply apart. Only 2 screws. Oh, they cheaped out and I only went 1 screw now this time? No way. That's crazy. Crazy. These are fun taking apart too. definitely don't want people taking these apart. Ridiculous. What? We can just wiggle it out, I guess. There we go. So, yeah, basically we just want to clean this up. Look how dirty this is. The dust. We want to just basically focus on some of the MOSFETs. Gonna make sure this capacitor is discharged. So we'll do the old technique here. Screwdriver. Make sure you touch it, ground it out. You don't want to kill yourself. So I'm satisfied with that. So you'll get a nice little pretty shock. Look at this. What is this stuff? Alright, looks good enough for me. really magnetized. Look at how black that is on the big capacitor here. Just mainly going after the buildup. Alright, we're good to go. It's good enough. I'm going to call this the Black PlayStation 4. That's what this is. The mystery black stuff. Alright, so now we can actually put it back together now. Whole game console. Clean the top case. That's about it. You know, I bet you the CD lens is dirty, but it's not what was causing the problem. Like I said, you gotta put this piece back here. Hold it in place. came out with this crappy design. It's a newer system. Yeah, I'm wondering if they were thinking the motherboard was going to fall out of this or something. How many screws they used. Put the power switch back, or the eject. Oh, power. I don't know why I keep thinking that's the eject. This is just overboard with screws. Ridiculous. And the new airflow of the system too. Crappy design. Like, really, you need this many screws to go in the system. I forget what screws it was. So that's a full recondition. PlayStation 4, that's for sure. Oh, one screw ain't gonna hurt. I already spent too much time on this system, so guess not an easy system to clean. Look how nasty it is. I don't know what it was, but it's just not an easy system to clean. Put the screws back in. Test the game console. Plug a HDMI cord here in. Alright, powered up. I gotta plug in the cord. Alright, powered up. Got the PlayStation symbol. We got sound. Alright, so this is basically a full refurnish of a PlayStation 4. And this is basically like the PlayStation 4 Slim models. Just because of the board, you know, is like half the size of what a normal PlayStation 4, the original model, first model generation. This one actually just is dirty, and the thermal paste was actually just broke down to a liquid state. Replaced the thermal paste, cleaned out the whole casing, actually the power supply too, just because of this black, I don't know, substance, I don't know what it is, just caked on some of the components of the system. So more or less just the thermal paste broke down and not cooling down the and the actual pressure being applied to from the heatsink to the motherboard itself is one of the issues, because they use the cheap metal that, you know, at their time and heat and a couple years, it loses its flex. It's not like a flexible material. Like, you could bend the material here, just for what I'm showing you for an example. This right here, I mean, I could bend this in half, like literally, no problem. Like the older game consoles, the PlayStation 3 and the PlayStation 4, the original model, is a little bit harder material than this. So, and then they use a different screw setup too. So after time, this flattens out. You see, there's really no curvature to this one. This one is, I want to bend it, there it is. It's straight. You see how straight it is? So after time, that thing loses its shape and the pressure applying to the system because of the heat, and it just flattens out. So this is just crappy. I wish there was some aftermarket parts that you could buy. I would replace every one of them on there. But bending it back out, not too much. The best way to bend it out is, you know, grabbing a piece of pliers right here, if you're scared about bending it, and just bend it slightly up, because it is caved in the centers here just a little bit, and this is flat. So just by bending that out, that's the issue with these overheating too. And whatever the black stuff that was in here, that would have caused problems down the road for the power supply, especially that stuff building up on the MOSFETs. So basically, that was a full teardown of the PlayStation 4 and rebuild, refurnish, whatever you want to call it. So if you guys get a chance, give this video a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed, go to the subscribe button and subscribe. And thanks for watching.